Yo, 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 yo. It's another fucking podcast with your boys Bill, James, and Tig'S. Excellent adventure. Episode 38, baby. This week, we're going to talk about
the fight of the century. Ingram, Rondo, and Chris Paul. Who's going to win?
Yes, and we're going to talk about how much of a failure the Rams, the Cowboys, and the Raiders all are, and including the Giants. It's a motherfucking terrible NFL season, and we're having a great time on this motherfucking podcast. That's right. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Motherfucking dog. Man, I said that was
I did not say that was going to happen. I said it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. What? Just like this motherfucking podcast happened right on time. Yeah, sometimes not predictable. Right time. Hashtag that's right. That's right. Cause it's another fucking podcast. Yeah. It's a motherfucking podcast, World Series Special Edition, episode 38, baby. Let's go, Red Sox.
Wait, Dodgers.
Oh, Dodgers. Oh, let's go.
Man, we're in Los Angeles.
Man, I fucking with them Red Sox. Y'all know I'm consistent as fuck. Because I've been fucking with them since I was 9. That's right. We're fucking them up. This is your number one podcast in the motherfucking nation, the world, and all of the motherfucking universe. You're welcome, you funky bitch. You don't forget to like and subscribe. It's just me and James here today.
What's up?
Chilling somewhere on a boat.
Lil
Yachty. We gonna give him a name. We gotta get him a name. Oh no, I'm gonna just call him Boat.
Oh boy.
He's stumbling. Oh yeah. We're watching the World Series live right now. I am watching some straight up domination. No, I'm joking. I told dude at work I wasn't gonna talk shit when I came in after we beat the hell out of the Dodgers. So I'm not gonna talk shit, but we might just be talking about the Dodgers and the Red Sox randomly in this podcast just for some reason. So that's the only reason I put it on the board.
Good call.
So, MLB, you made the A block. Congratulations. Now on to the B block. Because we got busting balls, breaking news. I thought I was going to just be able to talk about one trade today because Chris Haynes got traded. Chris Hyde, got traded. Carlos Hyde. Who am I thinking about? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
There was actually another trade. Eli Apple, cornerback, traded to the New Orleans Saints for a 5th and a 7th or something like that.
And that defense looks pretty decent. And after they went up against the Baltimore Ravens, looked pretty decent, you know?
And that just proves the Giants are giving up on the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, Apple was a little bit of a
head case
problem in the locker room. That's where I'll go.
Is it like a rule that if your hair comes down past your numbers, you're a head case? He's like a Richard Sherman.
I feel like it's a rule that if you have emotional problems, you're a head case.
Oh, okay.
You know, these guys are sensitive.
All right.
Some of these dudes are sensitive. And, you know, let's not even go into my theory about how many gay athletes there are. We got to still do that episode. We've teased that in like episode 3. Got to have that episode. Gay athletes. How many do you think are out there? And we're going to put our suspect list together. And we're going to have a suspect episode. You know what I'm saying? We'll be able to just drop names, man. Drop names. And it's not anything negative, people. This is what we feel. We got a lot of people in the closet in sports.
you could hit a woman in the face and no, I'm just kidding.
So we're gonna have a callback episode. But yeah, man, who are we talking about?
Amari Cooper traded to the Dallas Cowboys.
That's what we were leading into. We were talking about the Giants. We were talking about Eli Apple.
Eli
players.
Apple.
But yeah, I think he was a problem in the locker room, so I think that's why he traded. But yes, Amari Cooper, Roll Tide, got traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to be stacked in the draft next year.
3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not gonna sit here and tell a lie, but I think I'm not telling tales out of school here, but I think he might get him a couple of Alabama players with their 3 draft picks, and they might be coming off the defensive end.
I mean, the first round is usually nicknamed Alabama Roll Tide.
Right. So I think we might be seeing a lot of them become Raiders.
Well, that stinks.
And I was really mad, very angry about this trade when it happened. I was fucking pissed. I thought, well, goddamn, man, why would you trade him? Trade Derek Carr. He's the one who's not good. But that probably makes him more difficult to trade, not being good.
True.
And I looked at the contract situation with Cooper, and they got to pay him like $19 million or something like that next year. And then he's up for a contract the next year after that. I'm thinking
Cut
bait here. We don't know if we even got a quarterback right now. Let's just get a draft pick and, take it to the house. Now, and I was mad at the Cowboys because the Cowboys could have had Josh Gordon for a 5th round pick.
True.
They could have had all kind of players.
But you know who's also a bad quarterback? Dak Prescott.
That's right. Hashtag that's right. He's a terrible quarterback. And I'm thinking, so he just traded for one quarterback for another, even though Derek Carr's numbers are a little bit better than Dak Prescott's, but neither one of them get the ball down the field, which is what Amari Cooper's skill set is.
He's got the speed.
So I'm feeling like it's a bad situation for Amari Cooper. Great situation for everybody else involved.
Yeah.
So, and I also think that Gruden is just doing what he's got to do. I think he really got in to the Raiders and thought Derek Carr is going to be good. He's a good quarterback. We're going to be good.
He was gassing him up. All last year, whenever the Raiders were on Monday Night Football, he was just like, incompletion or interception by Derek Carr. The wide receivers got to keep going or blah, 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 blah. He knew. And now you can't really hide it.
You can't. You can't. And he was seeing it, and he was thinking, if I get there, that'll change.
He'll learn from me.
He's like, hey, let me tell you. I get in there with that quarterback room with them. These guys, they'll get it together.
Yeah.
And then he got in there after a couple of weeks, and he was like, hey, I like that guy, A.J. McCarron. Let me go trade for him. I'll call up a couple of people, see what they would give up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nothing? Send that shit on over there. Let me get that. Hey, let's get A.J. McCarron because we might need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it since week 2. I think Derek Carr is done, just as a quarterback in general. Unless he sits down for a year and heals, because I think he's still hurt. I think his back's still hurt. And he obviously can deal with pain, but they can't play with pain. You see what I'm saying?
There is a difference.
So we talked about the Cowboys a little bit.
Want to talk about that other trade?
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde from the Cleveland Browns. All these teams getting just dismantled, one player after another.
But this team started it at like week 3. The Browns are so disappointing to me because they actually had all the talent, and then they let all the talent go before preseason was over. And then now they're just trading all of the talent that's left around the quarterback that they wanted to get in around this time, and they had to put him in a little early because Todd Haley won't stop running Tyrod Taylor every which way around the fucking field. So he ends up with a concussion. Probably had the concussion before. Ended up hitting his head again. Bam, he can't hide it. Got to sit down. Now Baker's got to go in. Trade Josh Gordon. Fuck that. No, Baker looked too good with Josh Gordon out there. No. Trade him.
No deep threat for you.
No. Get out of here. Oh, what? Man, Higgins better be glad he got hurt. Because if he didn't get hurt, they would have traded him too. Mm-hmm. Because they trading everybody over there. Chubb, he was like averaging. I know he was the only person mad about this trade.
Why?
Because he was averaging like 17 yards a carry.
Yeah, but he's also like averaging 3 carries a game.
He's averaging 17 yards a carry, though.
Yeah, but
so that means you getting.
He wasn't playing.
He was getting them yards.
He wasn't playing,
getting them yards. Now he got he gonna hit about 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, but 18 carries.
18 carries, and he only had about 80 yards.
Hey, and a touchdown. I think he'd rather play than not.
I'm telling you.
No way is Nick Chubb upset about getting more playing time.
He should be, because they were a perfect in this NFL. You can't win with just one running back. You got to have a tandem, and they don't got a tandem no more. Don't matter. Like even the Rams got a tandem. You know,
well, they only have
used 2 running backs.
They only have 2 wins. They weren't winning
because they're trying not to win. They are. If you trade all the talent on your team, and then you go out there and try to play a football game against talented teams that haven't traded their talent, and some of them have picked up your talent, Tampa Bay, that means you probably aren't trying to win. You're probably not putting your best foot forward.
But yet they keep coming up with overtime after overtime. 5 overtimes this year, and I always say that means you could have won 5 games.
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, they should have 6 games won, in my opinion, at this point. They should have beaten all of the teams that they've played, really, at this point. It's really sad, but it's true. It's just a couple of things. I feel like it's just like a coaching staff that is not together in what they want to do. And then because the coaching staff that they have now, the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, were not hired by Hugh Jackson. They were hired by the new GM. So they got all kind of problems in Cleveland.
They need to go to a happy hour or something and talk all this over.
Yep, it's crazy. No, they need to just punch each other in the face. And whoever wins, that's who get to keep making decisions.
Little Rondo CP action, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. So I guess we're going to talk about this fucked up ass Ray Caruth situation. Ray Caruth got released from prison, former Panther. He was in prison, in case you don't know, for killing his wife or having her killed, allegedly. Not allegedly, he was convicted. Mm-hmm. So it happened, you know. The reason I know it happened is because she was able to survive long enough to call the police and say Ray Caruth was behind my murder. So it's not a question. It's just, the question is, how fucking fucked up is the motherfucking justice system that this dude can just be out and running around? I haven't looked at anything.
Successfully had his wife killed that he had planned to do, hired people to do, and 19 years later is out on parole. And
his son, who she was pregnant with at the time, suffers from cerebral palsy due to the complications of the C-section and him being born prematurely. And her
This guy took 2 lives.
Basically. It's crazy. And this dude's going to be walking around. Like, I guess he called his lawyer and was like, yo, OJ got out. You better come get me.
Yeah, pick me up in that white Bronco.
Shit.
I want to live like OJ right now.
I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But speaking of the Panthers, they beat the motherfucking Eagles like Greg Hardy beat his girlfriend.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Man.
Yeah, if you want to
go. I'm telling you, it was bad. Fourth quarter.
Yeah.
17 points straight.
Scam Newton pulled a fast one on him. Are the Eagles done? No way they're making the playoffs.
You think? I was gonna say, you think so you're going out on that limb. They're not making the playoffs
Right now. The Washington Redskins look like the best in that division, which really pains me to say. But Alex Smith is a really good regular season quarterback, and Adrian Peterson seems to have sold his soul to the devil to get a couple last seasons of.
Yeah, you don't know how many years he sold his soul to the devil for. He might be here till your grandkids is playing football.
And God bless him if he does. That dude is one of the greatest.
AP really looks good out there. Old as hell. What is he, 60? No, I mean, seriously, he's like my age or younger. I think, but like 31, 32 is what I'm going to say.
Let's find out.
And
how old is Adrian Peterson?
And that motherfucker.
According to my sources, Adrian Peterson is 33 years old.
33. He's a year older. I'm telling you.
That's 10 years of running backing or run backing.
That's 20 years of running back. He's been running since he was a baby. So, man, more power to that man. And he's one of the reasons I picked the Redskins to beat the Cowboys.
You did call that correct?
Cowboys suck.
Yep.
I don't want to hear nothing about Sean Lee or motherfucking nobody. Nobody.
We'll see if Amari Cooper brings it up.
Oh, man. So upset he got traded to a team that I hate. Nah, you just don't even understand.
Who are you gonna root for?
No, I'm not gonna root for the Cowboys. I'm gonna be like, man, I'm picking Amari for my
daily fantasy.
So, I just wanted to talk about the Giants because they played the Falcons and they fucking lost barely. It seems like they're really good at that.
At losing?
Barely, like the Browns.
And, did you watch that last minute where Eli Manning tried to sneak twice?
Yeah.
Pummeled?
Wait a minute. So you mean the last...
It was the last 60 seconds?
It was the last minute, but he took 45 seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
Because you said a minute, and I'm like, shit, wasn't it a minute that he was taking off the clock? I mean, shit. What did he think was going to happen? I'm about to just wait this clock out and then run it in, and then we're going to win?
And the defensive backs on Atlanta, they timed it perfectly. They just met him right at the top. Eli Manning should have been in concussion protocol because he took some hits. The dude just flew right over the O-line.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It was nasty. He came over like a torpedo, and I was like, Eli didn't even change his snap count.
I know.
I was like,
what?
He
had the timing down perfectly.
What the hell is going on? I was really confused. That was really bad, and the Giants look really bad. And you know what? This is the first time I've ever been able to say this. It's not Eli's fault. That offensive line can't even run block at this point.
Yeah, and they're getting just quick double moves by D linemen, and they're right at the quarterback. It's 1-on-1, people.
Oh my God, it's so fucking sad.
Did you hear Booger say something weird during that telecast? Did you have the sound on? Odell Beckham goes to the locker room, and they're like, "Oh my God, is he okay?" And then they find out, "Oh, he's just going to the bathroom." And then Booger is just like, "Oh, these diva wide receivers. Back when I was a lineman, we used to just go to the bathroom right on the bench. We would just sit down, handle our business, and go right back in the game." And Jason Witten and the other dude were just like, okay. And I'm thinking the same thing. I was like, is this dude admitting to pissing and or shitting himself on the bench?
No. He didn't mean like literally sitting on the bench and shitting on yourself. He meant that you would go to the bench and like, because what happens
Pop a squat.
Yeah, there's a lot. What dudes will surround you. It happens all the time. Dudes will surround you so you can use the bathroom.
Is that really something you want to admit on national TV?
Well, like,
I didn't know
it's not
about
like
it.
you're shitting your pants.
Yeah, but I didn't know about it. I didn't.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I
it
didn't
happens.
need to know about
I've
it.
seen it happen on television. You just probably just let it go out of your mind. Seen it on Sports Center or some shit. But they showed all that kind of shit on top tens and all that shit. Like, hey, look at this happened. Yeah, it happened.
Man, that must be a Sports Center after dark thing because I've never seen that.
Look, I've seen it a million times. They what happens is they'll cover them up. Now you never know what they're doing under there. You assume they're taking a piss, but some of them could be doo-dooing. So.
Sure. And just my weekly making fun of Jason Witten. Every single possession, he said, and the defense really has to get a stop here. Just word for word, maybe
really has to get a stop here
20 times throughout the whole game.
You know what
the defense really has to get a stop here.
Maybe that's what he told himself after every third down.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why he got all those conversions. He's like, hey man, defense really got to get a stop here.
It's just fucking.
They got to really motherfucking get a stop here.
He just has a program. Like, if this, then this.
Yeah. Hey, he's a robot. He was a robot his whole career, and he's like a robot on television. Everybody's not supposed to be on TV, Disney. Call us. Thank you. We'll stop saying fuck if you stop putting Jason Witten on television. So you want to talk about Tommy.
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking about this because we're out here in LA, and the Rams are the local team, and they get them and the Chargers get shown on every CBS local station. And I was thinking, the Rams are undefeated, and they are probably going to make the Super Bowl. They're skilled at every single position, both offense and defense. Yet I don't enjoy watching them play. I don't want to sit down and watch a Rams game. Do you feel the same way?
Yes and no. Because come to think of it, yes, I do. But the Rams' opponents, they haven't really been all that. If we look at it, the Chargers probably the best team they played, and they struggled with them. And then they struggled with the Seahawks.
Almost lost to the Seahawks, yeah.
So I'm going to go out here on a limb and say that the Rams may not be as good as we think they are.
They haven't been tested.
Haven't had the adversity, yes.
I agree. They are a well-oiled machine. They run their plays, and Jared Goff is usually hitting his first read, if that maybe second, but he doesn't really have to improvise or be creative at the line. And a lot of the plays is just rushing Todd Gurley, and you're getting 15 yards usually.
And then doing the jet sweeps and the motherfucking speed sweeps and all that shit. But Sean McVay is in Goff's ear for the majority of the time, right before he gets ready to, like, up until the time where they have to cut off their microphones legally. He's still telling them stuff to read. So I don't know. I think the reason you feel that way is like you feel better about watching Tom Brady play a team.
Exactly.
That you think that he's gonna win. You're like, yeah, he's gonna play the Titans. Oh, they're gonna win. But you're still probably gonna watch more likely than if the Rams play the Titans.
Exactly. If the Rams play the Titans, it's probably going to be a 35-7 victory. The Patriots play it might be 35, but they really have to be creative and tell different positions and call different audibles at the line to put the players in a position to win. And that's not to say they have bad plays. It's that they just trust Tom Brady enough to read the defense just to get an easy pass. They're not guessing what the defense is. They're reading the defense and adjusting to it. And I compare it to why I didn't like watching the Spurs from 2000 to 2010. They just run their offense. They always play at a 90% level. You have to be 100% to beat them. And that's why I really liked watching the Lakers 2000 to 2010, because Kobe Bryant had, especially when he had the bad teams, he had to be super creative and pull shit out of his ass on a nightly basis to try and get a win, and it was amazing to watch. I like seeing a little adversity.
Well,
That's
speaking
just
of
me.
liking to see a little bit of adversity, the NFL is on pace to break its points scored record.
Yeah, this is getting
like,
ridiculous.
20 points or something. I mean, like, no. It was like 27 last year. It's anticipated to be. I don't know. I gotta go back and look at the shit. I had glanced at it, but a lot more touchdowns gonna be scored.
You can't hit anyone. They're giving free yards.
Man, they giving out yards like, and now that you can do that little shuttle pass, now that's considered a pass now.
Mm-hmm. Just up those stats.
So, speaking of which, that's gonna move me on to the NBA. Oh my God, it's a slobber knocker.
My golly, that's Stone Cold's music.
Oh my God, man. Put one on. But I'm bringing in this great, beautiful segue.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's hit
The NBA is also about to score more points. About 7 more points than they have ever scored in the history of the NBA. On pace to.
The 5th best player on teams are going to be averaging 20 points a game this season. And I'm looking at my scores on my phone. I'm seeing 120 to 125, 130 to 142. It's forget stats. Everything's just gonna get blown out by. J.R. Smith is gonna be a top 10 all-time 3 points made player.
It's almost like somebody in the NBA was listening to my beautiful voice on this podcast when I said that last year there's less talent in the NBA. And if you looked at the numbers, it showed that everybody didn't really score that much. And those few players that scored a lot. But now, this year, now that they've said that they've told, quoting Draymond Green, they've told the players that there's not going to be much emphasis put on the defensive end of the ball. Now that they've told them that.
Why would you try?
Well, it's like players like Draymond are trying, but they're getting called for fouls like crazy. Dennis Schroeder got called for a foul on Steph Curry on the first game. Steph Curry had gotten by him, went up for a field goal from the top of the key. Schroeder was still at 3-point line. Steph Curry fell away and landed into Schroeder, and they called a foul on Schroeder.
That's fucking bullshit.
I was like, what in the fuck am I watching? I had to turn the goddamn TV off.
Yeah, that's not basketball.
That's not basketball. What you're watching today, ladies and gentlemen, is not basketball, which is why Luke Walton lost his motherfucking mind on Monday night. Did you see what he had to say?
When on the Ingram foul?
Yes.
Yeah. I lost my shit.
But he lost his shit and had to pay money for it because he did it in the podcast. He did it in the press conference afterwards.
He let him know.
Because, it's just getting ridiculous that they allow James Harden to hook players when he's going up to the basket.
To barrel through
him. To drop his shoulder into a player and push Brandon Ingram into the crowd, which is why Brandon Ingram got all in his grill and pushed James Harden because he was tired of that shit. And he's tired of the refs not calling. And see, the refs are really the culprit of Saturday night's fight.
Yeah.
Because if they not calling the plays right, then the players are going to feel like they got to take it into their own hands. And then, Chris Paul ended up catching one of those.
He right in the freaking face.
So, do you think Rajon Rondo meant to spit on Chris Paul? intentionally?
I don't know. But here's something that I'm not regurgitating anything. This is something I thought of today. Do you know what a gleek is? A gleek is something where it usually happens when you're not even paying attention, but basically your tongue hits like where your bottom teeth are, that little gap, and then like it like splashes or sprays spit into the direction you're facing. Some people do it on purpose. I do it on accident all the time. I accidentally spit on whatever the TV I'm watching on my computer screen. That's the one thing that's the one out Rondo has. Do I think, I would not bet that's what he did, but I think there's maybe a 10-20% chance. I'm pretty sure he spit in Chris Paul's face on purpose, but I can't say for sure.
I feel like if he spit on him on purpose, that. I don't know. I'm just not going to give. I'll put it to you like this. Rajon had a great quote today. He said, I didn't intentionally do it, but everybody wants to believe that Chris Paul is a good guy. Like,
he's no good guy.
He's no good guy. Mm-hmm. And this is what you got to ask yourself. Let me tell you, people, why you're asking yourselves, why did Chris Paul get a suspension? He shouldn't have got no games. He got dealt with. Well, why was Chris Paul over there?
Yeah.
He had no reason to be over there. It was between Harden and Ingram. Really, at that point, he is instigating more hostility on the court. So that's why he got them hands.
Yeah, he wasn't pulling anyone away. He wasn't trying to separate anything. He was getting in the face of the Lakers.
Yep, in the face of Rondo. And apparently they hate each other.
I believe it.
It's been greatly reported, but here's something that wasn't reported on highly. Since 2009, the Celtics press, the Celtics PR people used to send out letters, emails, memos, letting people of the press know, hey, Rajon Rondo will not be answering any questions about Chris Paul tonight or in the future or ever. And that was like a quote. The future or ever.
As a Celtic.
Ever. No, I'm sure everybody gets that because this is by his request.
Oh, but he got asked about it about this time.
But this is because now it's a thing.
It's not about the game. Not about the game.
Right. Mm. Because they hate each other. Reportedly, Chris Paul and Rondo were in a game, and Rondo went up to Chris Paul and told him he's like, I'm a champion.
Yeah, I remember that.
You ain't never gonna be a champion.
He was a Hornet at that time.
So get up out my face.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. New Orleans Hornet, yeah.
And boom. Then it happened. No, Pelican?
They weren't the Pelicans at that point, but they were in New Orleans. But they were the New Orleans Hornets.
So I was like, man, damn. They got that kind of beef. I'm surprised that if Chris Paul, I don't think Chris Paul thought he spit in his face.
Well, he did
not on purpose.
Oh, on purpose.
Because he didn't react like a man who got spit on.
Well, he
on
fucking
purpose. But he did the smush move. Like,
oh God! You better not.
Hey man, what are you doing, man? He ain't want no smoke.
Well, I think Chris Paul's also I think they're both smart players, but I think Chris Paul is smart enough to like, man, I want to hurt you, but I don't want to get suspended for a game.
He was smart enough to know that Rondo is a lot bit taller than him, a lot bit more about that action,
and he's a lot more buff.
And a lot more buff.
Rondo's a strong guy,
and he was about to put them things on him, and he didn't want that. And he's like, hey, man. He thought he was going to be one of them, hold me back. He thought he was going to be one of them moments. But it wasn't.
And
he got the, boom.
Oh, that face he made. So
yeah,
funny.
man, it was great. It was great. First fight we've had in 10 years in the NBA.
And it was a legit one.
I like it. It's getting 2 thumbs up. I'm sure Eric is approving as well. We're going to give it 3 thumbs up.
Oh, he's going to approve of this next segment. Can we talk about how horrible the Lakers look?
Oh, my God. Yeah, we can.
50 wins is out.
50 wins is out?
No way is this team winning 50 games. I was like, for sure we can win 50 games. This team, basketball-wise, this team cannot defend.
Nope.
Or is choosing not to defend.
Nope.
Portland and the Spurs were hitting open threes. They don't rotate.
But we can't say that they're choosing not to defend, and at the same time say that the NBA is basically creating a defensiveless league.
But I'm talking about 3-pointers. I'm talking about 3-pointers.
Yeah, I think that everybody's choosing, look, if I get this close to you, which this is bad radio talk, but if I get too close to you, I'm going to get called for a foul. Even though I'm not touching you, even though I really didn't even bump you, they just going to call a foul on me. So now the idea is what you were saying, why even try? I'm just get this action. I'm about to get me to 28 points. Shit, I got myself in fantasy today. Shit, I'm going to go off.
Yeah, you're also at 0-3.
Right. But I just want to point out, too, little fancy little tidbit. You know who else is 0-3?
Who?
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oof.
And they've only played one bad team. They played the Pistons, which Blake Griffin went
ham.
Jesus Christ on them. And then they played the Timberwolves, which they got Angry Butler out there. You got to deal with him.
He went from booed Butler to MVP Butler.
MVP.
I'm a fan of Butler at this point.
I'm a fan of his attitude. I'm a fan of Butler, but I think he is an overrated player.
I agree.
But he's also a great player. He is still top.
He's walking the walk, though.
Top 20, top 15, maybe even a top 10 player in the NBA. I will give you that, Jimmy. You my nigga, Jimmy. But you better not send my girlfriend no damn comments. And boy, that's why he ended up in Miami. D-Way was like, I like him, but he got a little too friendly.
Yeah.
Gabrielle
Union.
The Lakers look really bad.
And it's just funny because all the Laker quote unquote haters that I was just labeling haters, all their predictions are coming true. Rondo, bad influence, gets in a fight. Brandon Ingram suspended because of something Rondo started.
I think
he started it.
LeBron may be the influence here. Because now all of them are getting in their chest. They like, yo, we got Bronny back here. Like, y'all better not come over here and try to set it off. And then they're not getting any of these calls. And LeBron don't really get calls anyway. So then now you're looking at it like, hey, we supposed to be, they feeling a little bit entitled. Like,
yeah,
hey, man, what the fuck is going on? We were supposed to be like lighting it up.
And to speak to that, this team, while they were making all these signings, they're like, we're not going to outshoot the Warriors. So we have to go a different route. We have to go passing. We have to go ball movement.
Manny fucking Machado.
And then they get down in these games and they start chucking 3-pointers when they're not 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
And they're giving away points.
The most glaring problem to me coming out of the last 3 games is that LeBron has shot too many 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
Monday night against the Spurs, he reverted for the first time in 3 games to the old LeBron, last year's LeBron, the last 17 years LeBron, and just played dominant basketball, the ball-dominant basketball, and they almost came back. Hell, they were up 6.
And LeBron James misses 2 free throws at the end of overtime.
But two free throws that he basically demanded that he take because he could have passed the ball.
Exactly. On the inbounds when they had to intentionally foul.
Yep. And I feel like that's not a bad thing. Even missing the free throws is not a bad thing. But the lackadaisical defense on Rudy Gay at the 3-point line, your point.
Put a hand up.
Put your hand up.
He's LeBron. Rudy Gay isn't going to go by you.
But why is LeBron down in the paint with 4 other players, 4 of his other teammates? He's in the paint in the lanes with four of his other teammates. He needs to be out there with the guy. If he'd have been on him, Rudy might not even get past the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he's trying to see what these guys are going to do, not to mention Lonzo is hurt. You know what I'm saying? Lonzo is not injured, but he is still hurt.
Recovering.
He's recovering. So
I also got one last thing to say. I think JaVale McGee is either the second or third most important Laker right now.
Because he can, look, man, JaVale McGee is always the most important player on any team he's on because he can either be really, really bad or really, really good.
He just, the offensive rebounds, the tip outs, and the defense he was playing on LaMarcus Aldridge. 2 of those fouls were not fouls on LaMarcus Aldridge. But I'm a fan of JaVale McGee. It's only a matter of time when he just comes crashing down because of the law of averages. But for right now, he's playing really, really well.
You know, I think he's got a lot of pressure on him.
Well, he's the only post defense presence.
He's got a lot of pressure that he's never had before because he's got LeBron on his team.
Sure.
But it's a different kind of pressure. And I think being in Golden State, he learned how to be a professional. So hopefully he'll be able to go forward. You know, now that he's a Laker, you got Shaquille O'Neal saying, JaVale McGee.
He shouted him out, but for a good reason.
Yeah, well, you know, because now he's a center
On the
at
Lakers.
the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So he got to talk to him now. You got to say something about him like, hey, big fella. You got to go in there. You got to dominate. I don't want to hear it. You're icy hot. Don't stop. Don't do it. So Jimmy Butler, you think that everything's okay now?
Hell no. Everything's awful. But I just like when a player backs up his talk with his play. This dude was booed by the Minnesota fans, and then he won them a game at the end against the Cavaliers, I believe, and they were chanting MVP, and he relishes in it. He's very Kobe-esque in that matter, and doesn't have the necessary skill, but he definitely has that killer attitude, and I'm a big fan of that. It's something the Lakers needed on Monday night. They needed someone with a killer attitude.
Which is why I think he's not going nowhere. I think he's going to rock everybody's socks off just like he's doing. He's going to play his way into his contract somewhere around December or January. I don't know.
If they make the playoffs, they'll be the second team I root for behind the Lakers.
I think. Look, man. There's look. If they're like in the same position that they were around March of this year, in this season, that was a little convoluted.
If they're in the same position as March of last season,
by
March of this season.
How do you not sign Jimmy Butler to a long-term contract for whatever the hell he's asking for?
I agree.
Because last season, he got hurt around March, and then they almost effectively fell out of the playoffs. Like, they basically fell out of the playoffs because then they ended up having to play the Rockets, so that meant that they weren't going to go to the second round.
So I hope Jimmy Butler continues to play like this. Unfortunately, it probably means he's going to get hurt by playing a little out of his mind or whatever, going a little too hard.
Well, I think what'll hopefully happen is, because they can't trade Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh no, that he's there forever.
Well, I mean, even if they really wanted to trade him,
too expensive.
They just signed him, so by the rules, they can't trade him until February. Mm-hmm. So they can't trade him until right around the trade deadline. And I feel like by that time, the big cat will have figured it out, because he can't get traded if he doesn't produce. So I think they're gonna end up playing themselves into some type of galvanizing event that allows them to get around 4th place.
It'll be Shaq and Kobe.
And then, boom, baby, Timberwolves basketball. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to see them make it to the playoffs, and I think that they're going to be a problem for some people. They already right now look like a problem.
I hope so.
Did you see the Denver Nuggets yet?
I have not.
That's my sleeper.
They almost they did beat the Warriors.
Yeah, man. That's my sleeper.
You were right.
Sleeper. I'm out here with these sleeper, baby. Got these sleepers, One of my sleepers is still sleeping.
Who?
The Cavs. They
of
still
course,
sleeping.
yeah.
Oh, the Detroit Pistons, too. That was another sleeper, but I didn't pick them for my surprise team. Like, team you'll see coming out of nowhere. Eric picked the Pistons.
As did James.
But I feel like that's not out of nowhere. We all said they was going to make the playoffs last year, so I feel like that's not out of nowhere. They should have been in the playoffs.
Bill, you're the best, and we're all just
No. I feel like that was just like a layup is what I mean. Y'all went for a low-hanging fruit, is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say hot takes just for the sake of hot takes.
I'm not taking hot takes for the sake. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hit it when you're a home run hitter. You gotta strike out sometimes. That's right, Mookie. Boom! Come on, man. Oh my God! I thought he was about to lay him. Oh my God. So anyway, we talked about Chris Paul. We talked about Butler. We talked about Rondo. Did we talk about Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about Brandon Ingram. We just talked about him pushing. Because I was really talking about, like, man, what was going on, man? He lost it. He lost it. He absolutely lost his shit.
I think it's frustration. He has not hit a 3-pointer this year.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Team. We're a team, not a team of stats. That was some stats for your ass right there.
He's taken, I think, 8 in 2 games and hadn't hit one. I think he's just frustrated, and then he's got a bad foul call and just let out a push. I've done that.
Man, that was a big push, though.
Well,
it was
Harden's
really
a flopper.
That was a really late way. And I don't think James was flopping on that one, boy. He was.
Well, that just proves Brandon Ingram's been hitting those weights.
He been hitting the weights, man.
Getting a little thicker.
He wanted nothing but smoke. He wanted nothing but smoke, man. Right now, why do they still got Kershaw in? It's the bottom of the 5th. I'm hoping that the Red Sox are about to motherfucking hit a home run right here. But whatever. It's tied 3-3. 1 on. Red Sox are bad. I'm upset right now. Because I can't get mad on a show that doesn't do live television. Like, I'm kind of glad we don't have this on video right now because we would not be able to air this.
Oh, right.
Maybe No, we just wouldn't be able to air this. This is actual.
Oh, he's happy now.
I'm not happy.
You just got a base hit.
Yeah, but I'm not happy. I'm like, look, man, I'm like Nick Saban and Bill Belichick of sports watching. I'm not happy when my team is up. I'm not happy when my team is down. I'm just like ready for this shit to get over with so we can get out of here.
You're never happy when you win a championship. You're just relieved.
Right. I'm just relieved, and now I have to go back to work. Yeah. That's really how I feel. It's not like when we do this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Where we basically just talk about nothing. Until we run out of stuff to talk about.
I got one last thing to talk about. Back to the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is
we forgot Patty.
He's a great quarterback. But when the Sunday night crew is ball washing him to no end, I have a problem with that. This guy is making amazing throws. Praise him for that. But there were four instances that they brought up that they're praising him as to be the next great quarterback. He was praised for taking pictures with baseball players as a kid.
I did that.
He was praised for making a half-court shot in basketball at 8 years old.
Oh, I did that.
And it looked like a football throw.
Okay.
Check this out. This is ridiculous, but it's true. He was praised when Andy Dalton threw an incompletion. They literally said, well, if Patrick Mahomes was in there, I think that's a touchdown. I was like, shut the fuck up, Chris Collinsworth. And finally, he was praised when he threw an incompletion with his left hand. Look, he put it in his left hand and throws it. Oh, it's an incompletion, but they're starting to call him left-hand Mahomes. So ease up. We get it. We don't have to make the. He's really this. I finally understand why people hate LeBron James, because he just gets praised for every little thing he does, and I think I'm seeing the other side of it.
Yes, that's what it is. That's why we hate LeBron, and because he's not as great as everybody says he is. Because it's like a Daniel Boone type thing or a fucking Bo Jackson type thing. Do you know that there's stories about Bo Jackson throwing a rock into, you know how people skip rock?
Yeah.
There's a story of him skipping a rock on a lake. After everybody else skipped their rock, one dude skips his. It goes 2 skips. Another guy skips his. His goes 3-4 skips. Bo comes up, skips his. The rock goes off until they can't see the rock no more. It just never stops skipping.
Yeah.
It's like, motherfucker, that shit
true.
did not happen.
Yeah.
That shit did, no, you know what now? That shit might have happened. I gotta see this lake. I gotta see this rock.
Well, it's like, not
how far is to what I could not see no more? I don't know. And how dark was it? You know what I'm saying?
No, but wait, hold on. And it's also like, well, Jesus walked on water. It's like, motherfucker.
Well, that's a little bit less. It's definitely crazier. Well, like, Bo Jackson once jumped clean over a creek from one end of the creek to the other end of the creek. Just jumped right over it, standing. But he's a long jump leader. I think he still owns the record for the longest long jump in the state of Alabama.
Well, then you might believe it.
But that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I still don't believe this shit. But it's like, but it's still those same kind of things. It's like, maybe Mahomes does throw that and it's a touchdown. But maybe he throws it and his receiver drops it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are we talking about Patrick Mahomes for when he's not even on the field?
It was so insulting. All right.
Yeah, but
so that's just my thing. He's great. We don't need to fucking suck his dick all the fucking time. Especially when he's not on the field.
We don't. I like the kid. I've been out here, biggest fucking fan. I've been out here for him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Andy Reid lost 10 pounds for him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I gotta survive to see this kid. You know what I mean? But you're right. We don't have to suck his dick. But you know what? I really don't like it because I think it's like funny because they used to do the same. They used to do the exact opposite with Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. They used to never give him any kind of credit. Tom Brady didn't become the greatest quarterback alive till he won his
number 5.
Well, they would say he might be. He's in the conversation, but until he won his 3rd, it was like, man, I don't know.
No, even after he won his 3rd, it was like Peyton or Brady.
Well, yeah, but that was just a media conversation, really. But they created that conversation to create a buzz. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until he won his 3rd one that they stopped saying, well, I don't even know if he's the reason that they won those Super Bowls, those other 2 Super Bowls. It wasn't until he went up against Donovan McNabb and had to really go out there and win one with Terrell Owens out there being a freak of nature, just playing on a broken leg and getting over 100 yards in a game with 7 catches. You know, wasn't until that happened that people were like, yeah, Tom Brady, he's legit. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking with that guy.
Took him 3 Super Bowls.
Took him 3 wins. Super Bowls. Wins. Now we got Patrick Mahomes, who hasn't made it into the 3rd quarter of the season.
Hasn't played 10 games.
That's what I'm saying. Hadn't made it into the 3rd quarter of the season yet. We got 4 quarters of football in a season. And he hasn't made it to the 3rd quarter of the first complete starting season that he's ever had. I like the way he's handling it, though, because he's not saying any of the things that you're saying. He's saying,
you're right.
You know, we need to do things to get better. I like where we're going. I'm having a lot of fun. You know, I'm working on my Patty Mahomes accent. I'm working on it. I'm working on my impersonation of him.
I feel like he sounds like.
Oh, you haven't heard Patty Mahomes?
No.
I'm working on it. I'm going to,
He sounds like someone from
anybody,
Friday.
Anybody on here listening knows that anybody who's heard it.
He sounds like Cat Williams.
He's heard it. He's like a countryer Cat Williams. Yeah. We're just out here having fun. I'm having fun.
Oh, my
And I just keep
God.
listening to what Coach Reed tells me to do. And whenever I get out there, I just want to just let it rip.
It's so not intimidating.
I know. He's got all kinds of memes with his motherfucking... I'm like, yo, can we get somebody to work on this motherfucking memes? And his gifs is fucked up, too. On Twitter, you type in his name, it's just a bunch of really bad gifs. I tweeted on it, at Bill James and Tig. Go ahead and check that out. But, man, some really bad gifs. So, yeah, we got to do better for him. He needs better PR. He needs everybody to work better for him.
Yeah.
Because...
He needs Tyreek Hill to keep busting off 75-yard touchdown runs.
Yeah, because he's a great kid. He's handling it well, and I don't want to see him hit like a wall and then because what you're right. Everything that they're saying, they're just doing it to just build him up, and then when he starts throwing interceptions,
wasn't his fault.
Oh no! When he starts throwing interceptions, it's gonna be, Patty Mahomes is falling off of a cliff. I think it's time for them to look in another direction this offseason and all this shit. You play
fucking media.
Look at Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick should be playing football right now. You do something that they don't like, because they were praising Colin the year before. Do something they don't like, you're benched. Do something they don't like, you're out of here. Mm-hmm. That's how it works in the NFL. So anyway, anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to Eric. We miss you, man.
Yeah, shout out to Eric. Shout out to the short film that you're filming on a yacht. I feel like you're hitting a little close to the $10 million mark. You might not be considered an independent film if you keep spending all that money that y'all are spending.
Yeah, if you put Sprite logos in your movie, man, that doesn't work that way.
I don't know. But you'll get back here soon, because we're not paying you for nothing. You here. So, shout out to all you listeners. You motherfuckers make this shit go. I don't know. That's not even really true. I'm going to do this if you don't listen. But but that's why you listen, right? Because we going to keep doing this. We passionate about this shit. We love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, and share. We don't ever tell people to do that.
Oh, yeah, if you could share, that'd be great.
If you could share it, that'd be great. You could, repost it or retweet something, or even follow us on Twitter.
That'd be great.
Instagram is popping. Maybe we'll start popping on playing some more actually funny shit. I don't know, man. I'll start posting some more shit.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chris James. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Jordan. Jordan, if you listen to this podcast, make a comment and text me so you can fucking get over here.
And go Browns.
And yeah, go Browns. And we can talk some Ohio State football because they lost.
Des Bryant.
Des Bryant, y'all need to sign him. Y'all should have signed him. Roll Tide, we love you and good night.
It just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They're just not gonna want that. Think there's a deeper metaphor there? Run through a motherfucker face. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Billing themselves real Negro delineators, whites couldn't compete with their offensive.
Y'all niggas bamboozle. Y'all niggas bamboozle. Y'all niggas bamboozle. Y'all niggas bamboozle. Boozle, boozle. Y'all niggas bamboozle. Y'all niggas bamboozle.